The MTR is the circulatory system that keeps Hong Kong moving. It brings commuters to work, and a standstill would ground Hong Kong's economy to a halt. How does a Hong Kong in motion tie in with a vibrant economy? Earlier, I spoke to Jacob Kam, CEO of Hong Kong's MTR Corporation. He told me that to maintain financial stability, an unobstructed transportation system is extremely vital. MTR, as a major transportation method for Hong Kong, has been caught in crossfire among different groups who argue that you should be on their side and why you haven't. What do you make of that reality as one which is running a transportation company?
The mission of MTR is to keep Hong Kong running. The city's economy, the city's development, the people of the city depends on MTR to keep moving, to get on with their daily life, to work, to study, to visit people, visit parents, and to meet friends, and so on. They rely on MTR to keep their life going, and our mission is to keep Hong Kong running. That's what we have been doing throughout all this time.
When you talk about keep Hong Kong running literally, I guess there are two layers. One, of course, your train is running, and therefore passengers could be running from one place to another. Another thing is about whether Hong Kong is functioning. If Hong Kong is not politically functioning, how could it still be running, right? So what about these two layers, particularly the second layer, whether Hong Kong can still be running if you are taking a very neutral position, quote unquote, as some say?
Of course, the same applies to all metro systems around the world. They, of course, have to work with the police, with the government, in order to ensure the security and safety of the city, and this is what we did. If you think about the MTR business, we not only run trains, we also manage properties around stations. We want to create an environment that is safe, sustainable, and also driven by innovation and well integrated. Now, in terms of sustainable or sustainability in development, I don't just mean protecting the environment. Of course, the railway is one of the most environmentally friendly transport mode, but we're also talking about financial sustainability. And in order to keep the city running, we need a highly efficient railway, and we need to continue to upgrade the system with new technology, and that requires financial sustainability. In terms of integration, I don't mean just integrating different modes of transport, but also integrating with the various functions of the city with the transport network. And through our what we call TOD, transit-oriented development, we are able to integrate the functions of the city and the development of the city through the transportation network. And by running an efficient transportation network, we enable the city to continue to grow as well as economy to function.
What's going to happen to the Hong Kong economy? I mean, you're an important component of the business community there. With all the latest, do you think many people would still be extremely interested in traveling to Hong Kong? We have seen the drop already for the Spring Festival season, particularly coming from the mainland. I mean, what is going to be your future plan?
Hong Kong has a reasonably strong foundation, but of course tourism is a major part of our economy. So over time we have to rebuild the confidence of our visitors. But we do have many other experience and technology and know-how and services that actually sustain the growth of the economy of Hong Kong. Just give MTR as an example. Just now we talk about the TOD concept and the implementation of that, the rail plus property model, our management, our life cycle management of our railway assets and rail operations management, how we develop new lines and new technology and so on. We have been successful in exporting some of these know-how and services to other places in Europe, in United Kingdom, in Sweden, in Australia, and of course back to our motherland, our homeland in mainland China, several cities. So we believe we still have a lot to contribute to the world economy, and in doing so, hopefully they will sustain the growth of Hong Kong.
What does Greater Bay Area mean for MTR?
In terms of, in my view, there is a strategic meaning. It has enlarged the possibility of the Hong Kong economy. The Hong Kong economy it's large in its size, but in absolute terms it's small. Okay, it lacks the potential for significant growth, and it needs support in technology, in production, in leisure, travel, in entertainment, which are provided by various centers within the Greater Bay Area. So I believe when we add all these centers together, Greater Bay Area will be a much bigger potential, much bigger opportunity for us to grow, as well as for the world economy to be benefited.
Do you think many of your passengers understand that?
I believe a lot of the Hong Kong citizens understand our future is not only in Hong Kong, it's with mainland, it's with our own country.
Will you be competitive against, quote unquote, your mainland partners and counterparts? There are many out there. You're competing not only for the Hong Kong market, you have a huge advantage there, but you're also competing on the international basis because you do many other projects around the world, either constructing or managing some of the projects in different parts of the world. What do you think about that competition?
What we have found from our experience both in the mainland as well as elsewhere is that we do not have the monopoly of good ideas. We do not have the monopoly of competitive advantages. So what we have found is that we work with our partners, usually a local partner or partner nearby, to increase our combined competitiveness. And in fact, that has been the story of Hong Kong. We actually work with others in order to create better competition for all of us and better services to all our customers.
That sounds very general to me.
But it is how we have been successful. And I believe that will continue to be the critical success factor for us.
What about the elites like you in Hong Kong? Many are very curious about where you guys come from. What about your track record? How much does that interact with Hong Kong, with the mainland, and also, quote unquote, with the West? Jacob, I know you taught in university in the UK. You also work at different places, and later you moved back to Hong Kong and been in MTR for more than 25 years. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So, to people like you, the so-called elite in Hong Kong, how do you see where you belong to, and how do you evaluate the most important values of you in terms of the latest development?
I would not consider myself an elite.
I know you would say that.
In Hong Kong.
Yes, a big contributor, shall we say it that way. Go ahead, Jacob.
I believe I am a typical Hong Kong citizen who may have some experience working outside of Hong Kong, partly educated in Hong Kong, partly educated elsewhere. So I think we serve best as the bridge connecting our home mainland, our own country, with the rest of the world. We understand both sides, and we can actually bring people and businesses together. So I thought, 7 months ago, we are the best placed location, city that will help the continued growth of our nation, as well as helping the world to be benefited by the significant growth in China. Even now, I still believe Hong Kong and its people has that edge, has that competitive advantage, and also has that duty to contribute to the growth of our own nation as well as the growth of the world.